I've been building and flying my FPV planes now for the past 4 to 5 years and covered numerous videos showing you how I construct my planes and install the electronics. But one thing I still haven't covered is how each component works inside my aircraft and understood to make a video for viewers that are new to the hobby. I'd like to add that I'm not an expert or an advanced person in the RC and FPV community, but someone that gained knowledge by mainly watching YouTube videos to install, configure, and fly its FPV planes using easy-to-use flight controllers. So I'll guide you through my process of understanding an RC airplane up to the FPV planes I make today. To control a basic RC airplane, you have a transmitter that transmits the signal to the receiver, which receives the signal and sends commands from the transmitter through the channels to the connected components, which are mainly servos linked to control surfaces to control your plane, and one to the ESC, which is the speed controller for the motor. You have airplanes with 3 channels, 4 channels, 6 channels, or more, and this basically means by how many ways the airplane can be operated. A 3-channel airplane is controllable by its motor, elevator, and rudder. Those are the 3 channels for that airplane. A 4-channel airplane has motor, elevator, rudder, and ailerons. And then so forth, you have 6 to 8 or more channel airplanes with flaps, landing gear, and so on. So let's say you're anxious for your first flight or had to fly on a very windy day. You have a basic way of stabilizing your RC plane by adding a gyro between the receiver output channels and the servos. Gyros basically work by sensors that actively work against unwanted movements by adjusting the control surfaces in a way until it's leveled out again. A flight controller brings that functionality to the next level, but we'll get there later. So how does an FPV system work? Well, on the most basic and easy method, you have a camera that you connect to a video transmitter. That video transmitter sends the signal to a video receiver, which is built into your FPV monitor or goggles and shows the immersive live feed through your camera. It's important to start out with the frequency far apart from the radio frequency to eliminate interference. I'm still out using 5.8 GHz because they rarely interfere with the 2.4 GHz frequency band I use with my radio. So you're flying your RC airplane, then installed an FPV camera and transmitter on it. You're flying your FPV for the first time, but if your radio dies or you fly out of range, there's nothing you can do to save it. And this is where flight controllers come in. The flight controller inside your RC airplane becomes the brain of it because every electronic component is managed by the flight controller. I'd say the 2 main jobs of the flight controller is to keep your craft stable and fly your craft back through a switch or when signal is lost. There are many flight controllers out there for numerous of radio-controlled crafts, but to set one up for a fixed-wing airplane with FPV, I'm mainly focusing on the fixed-wing flight controllers of Maytech with the INAV configurator and firmwares, which are beginner-friendly to set your plane up and advanced enough for distant FPV flights, autonomous missions, automated landings, and probably much more. So we'll be installing a new flight controller, GPS, and FPV gear on my VTOL pusher airframe I had in storage for about 1.5 years since the last time it flew. After installing the electronics, it's time to configure them through the configurator on the particular flight controller I use and then fly it. The way I installed the hardware has been shown numerous of times through my build videos, so feel free to skip this part. After installing the electronics, it's time to configure them through the configurator of INAV. As you guys probably saw, I'm using the Maytech F411 WTE board with the INAV 7 configurator and firmware. With some of these Maytech flight controllers, it's also possible to fly Audio Pilot, but I personally never saw the need or interest to fly with Audio Pilot. So for the guys that are also using INAV, here is an overview of the most important tabs you'll need to do your work in before you fly. So connecting the flight controller with your laptop through USB and linking the board, you'll be introduced to the main window of the setup page. Here you have an airplane type or a quadcopter representing your flight controller and moves accordingly to the flight controller's orientation. And on the right, you have 2 informative tabs which show you data about the state of the flight controller. Calibrating the sensors for your flight controller is essential and is done in the calibration tab, in which you position the board on a flat surface and perform calibrations on each axis until complete. It's recommended to perform this step before installing it in your aircraft. In the Mixer tab, you'll configure your airplane. You basically tell what control surfaces the plane has, and as a result, the flight controller will do the mixing for you. It's important to know to not do any mixing, trimming, or expo in your radio. Everything should be done in the Mixer tab. The Outputs tab is there to adjust the end and midpoints of each servo. Enabling and testing your ESC is also possible by enabling the check mark and raising the bar you see right there. It's important to take off the prop too before you do this. This page is where you'll tell INAV what type of peripherals you are using and where it is connected on your flight controller. You enable ports for your GPS unit or HD FPV system in this tab and connect the hardware to the ports you enabled on your flight controller. The Failsafe tab is there for you to select the flight mode for your flight controller when your signal gets lost. I always set mine to failsafe return to home for the plane to just fly back until I regain control. The PID tab is there if you like to change your PID gains, change your servo rate, and expo. The Receiver tab is where I select the type of receiver I have and mainly see if all channels are working properly. One of my favorite tabs is the Advanced Tuning tab, in which you customize its flight behavior in automated flight modes. You'll be able to change your settings on automatic takeoff, waypoints, return to home, or even automatic landing if you're using INAV 7, 1, 2, or newer firmwares. The Modes tab is to configure the modes you want for your airplane and link those to your switches or knobs through your radio on different channels. The GPS tab speaks for itself, in which you enable your GPS to work and slightly configure with the options you have. And the alignment tool is if you have mounted your flight controller in a certain way and have to adjust the angles. Mission control is where you set up a flight path for your craft to fly automated missions with options to adjust altitude, speed, and there are a couple of more advanced options, but I haven't tried them out yet. And the last tab I'll cover is the OSD tab, in which you can fully configure and set up your OSD screen with the relevant parameters you want. I've put links in the description to websites and other videos that enhance your understanding about fixed wing related information and insights using these INAV flight controllers. And after being done configuring the VTOL pusher through the configurator, it's time to try it over the flying field.
Yeah, and it floats. Floats like it used to. Yeah, the pusher does well. But hey guys, it seems like everything works as it should. The VTOL is flying incredible. Feels really floaty like it did before.
As you guys see, the pusher is back in action without any significant fine-tuning or flaws. The throttle setting for automated launch and cruise were the only parameters I changed. And other than that, everything seems to act perfectly fine. What I always like to do after I kind of flown the plane around is to gain the altitude and activate return to home, let the airplane loiter for about 15 to 30 minutes and see if the airplane behaves like it should. And because the airplane is essentially flying itself, I could make myself useful in that time and try and film the airplane from above using a DJI drone. I hope you guys have a better understanding now about the way I install my electronic gear, FPV gear, and be able to fly short to great distant trips with my FPV airplanes. Please leave a like to support the video and the channel, leave a comment down below if you have any, and subscribe to stay tuned. And I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.